F word lovers, what the fuck is up? Welcome back to my channel, Living by the F Word. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I clean all of my camping gear, clothes, delicate items, and so much more after I return home from Burning Man. Let's get into it right now. Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on Living by the F Word. Today I am feeling extra good because all of my stuff is clean after Burning Man. If you watched my vlog that I threw up a few days ago, you have seen that I've been home for close to a week now, and it does take a lot of time to clean your stuff up. If you're not familiar with the Black Rock Desert, it is a lake bed that is made of alkaline playa dust, and it gets everywhere and in everywhere, and it's really important to clean it up once you get home. So if you got back from the burn and you're just watching this, go get your shit clean. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Jess. I'm a fine artist, flight attendant, and festival enthusiast, and I love F words. So, let me show you how I clean my shit. Let's start with some supplies. Vinegar, spray bottle, and coconut oil. This is what I find works best, these three items. You will also need some old washcloths or towels to use with these products. I always start with cleaning my clothes first, and I separate them into piles of dark, light, and then hand-washed items. And it doesn't look like they're very dusty, but you could see in this bag that they came from that they are definitely dusty. I'd just like to point out that there are many people that come home from the burn and wash their clothes with just soap and water, and that's fine too, but I do a different process. I usually put my clothes in and I find a rinse and spin cycle, so something that just fills it up with water and will spin dry it pretty quickly. And what I do is I let the washer fill up with water, and then I add vinegar by measuring it with shot glasses. Now, it depends on the size of the load, but I typically add probably like 3 or 4 shot glasses per, I don't know, full load of laundry. There's other people that also say 4 cups. I guess it just depends on what your process is. I don't really want my clothes smelling a ton like vinegar, but the vinegar pulls the dust out of your items and won't allow it to come back. So after I do a vinegar and water wash, I do a regular wash with laundry detergent. You can use fabric softener too, or however you would normally wash your clothes. I just do this after the vinegar wash because I don't want my clothes to smell like vinegar. Once again, that's another reason why I only put a small amount in to dilute it with the water. While my clothes are washing, I start to clean my shoes. And I don't know about you guys, but I am a shoe lover. As you can tell, I have a lot of my high heels there on display under my bed. So these are my YRU platform shoes that I bring pretty much every year to the burn, and I clean them with coconut oil. So you really only need a small amount of the coconut oil, and I usually just spread it on like a small piece of paper towel. And as I said, you really don't need that much, but you'll be able to tell the difference really quickly here from how dusty the leather is, and then once it's wiped with the coconut oil. So I find that it works extremely well, and if you just wash your shoes normally with a damp cloth or a baby wipe, the dust comes back. That's why it's important to use either the vinegar or the coconut oil on your products, because it will allow it to dry and not have the dry dust look come back. Because for some reason, the alkali in the Playa dust, I don't know what's in it, but it has this long lasting, I don't know what really, it just like is long lasting and it just always haunts you. So you could see the difference right there. And it looks oily. And I know some of you might say, oh my God, your shoes are so oily now, but it doesn't dry like that. And I'm going to show you right here what it looks like the next day, and they look perfectly normal. So next up, I'm going to use that spray bottle from the beginning of the video and the old washcloths that I was telling you about. And this is how I clean my delicate items, such as foldable fans, my goggles that are handmade by me, my small golden backpack that I usually keep my DSLR camera in, and anything that would be delicate that you can't put in the wash. This is also how I clean my custom hats that I make for myself. And it depends on the hat, but sometimes depending on the material, I just spray the hat. Other times I will spray the cloth and make sure it's damp and just wipe that on the fabric depending on the fabric, but you can see right there it does get pretty damp, but then it dries. And this is also a vinegar water mixture, so same thing as the laundry. And I also soak my jewelry in vinegar water as well. Now I'm going to move on to my camping gear items. And I'm going to start with my tent. As you can see, super dusty just putting it up there. This is a pretty lengthy process, but I start by hosing the tent down with water. I even hose down the inside, but I do have a wet dry vac, so use common sense, guys. If you don't have a wet dry vac, do not do this. It will be a shit show. So because I have a wet dry vac, I hose the whole thing down, including the back. But as you can tell, the dust comes back, like I said. So for some reason, that dust always comes back. It just doesn't work with a regular wash. So I usually hose the whole thing down and suck out the water. Yum. And of course, it still looks dusty. So the next step that I do is that water and vinegar solution with a wet cloth. Now, this was my first burn in 2 years, and I couldn't remember how I cleaned my old tent. So I did this first just to see if the dust would come out, and I did the top. I did everything, and it looked a little better, but as you can see, it was still pretty dusty. So I decided to try to use coconut oil like I did with my shoes for like the leather parts. And then I gave it another hose down and it came out really great. So there's a lot of people that have storage and just throw their burn gear in storage and don't clean it because they have other gear that they use for camping and other festivals or events. But I don't have that, so that's why I find it super important for me to clean my gear. Up next, I have my air mattress, blow-up chair, luggage, and backpack. So basically anything that also cannot be washed. I use the vinegar and water and washcloth method with this as well. There's also recommendations for air mattresses to just use regular soap and water. So I do both. I just mix the soap with a little bit of the vinegar and the water, and I wipe it down. You could see that even though I tried my best to keep my tent pretty sealed up, it still got super dusty. It's just what happens. So since I do use this for other events, I thought it would be really important to clean it. Also, just a pro tip to keep in there is clean your stuff and set up your tent and air it out after every event or festival that you go to, because it's just going to make your gear last longer and keep it clean for your next event. It's also recommended that if you leave blow up items or your sleeping bag in the sun will absorb any type of moisture, sweat, and germs. So that's another thing that you can do. We're wrapping it up with my box of camping gear. And for most people, they might not clean their camping gear, like their bungee cords, and I have a small generator, and I have a bunch of stuff that I keep in here, but I find it important because, like I said, I use these for multiple different events. And there was one time where I didn't clean my solar lights and I brought them to an event. And when I opened the box, like the Playa dust just went everywhere. So for me, it's important to clean everything. It might be a little extra, but it's just super important, especially because the dust actually can destroy your camping gear. As you can see here with my stakes, they're already starting to rust. So I just use regular water with a lot of the camping gear, and then I let it air dry. That's fine since it's just camping gear. I don't really use the vinegar solution or anything on this type of stuff, but I do clean everything, including the cardboard boxes or plastic containers that I keep them in. I wipe them down. I basically just wipe everything down so that it's nice and clean for my next event. So guys, that's it for this video of how to clean your gear, clothes, and more after Burning Man. I hope that this video has helped you clean things that are important to you. If I forgot to mention anything, I will drop them in the comments below, and please feel free to drop any questions you may have in the comments below. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you'll get notified of all the future videos and F words I'm dropping. See you in the next video, and thanks for watching.